Alright guys, welcome. I'm going to read some Into the Pit, chapter 1 on a couple pages. So, I'm going to start on the page that I can actually read. One business after another shut down like the organs in a dying body because nobody had the money for movies or games or amazing waffle cones anymore. Are you excited? It's the last day of school, Dad asked. It was one of those questions adults always asked, like, how was your day and did you brush your teeth? Oswald shrugged. I guess, but there's nothing to do with Bencon. School boring. That makes sense. But home's boring too. When I was 10, I wasn't home in the summer until I got called in for supper, Dad said. Wait, I wasn't home for summer until I got called in for supper, Dad said. I rode my bike and played basketball and got into a kind of trouble. Are you saying I should get in trouble? Oswald said. No, I'm saying you should have fun. I pulled into the drop-off in front of Westbrook Elementary. Have fun. He made it sound so easy. Oswald walked through the school double doors and ran smack into Dylan Cooper. The last person he wanted to see, Oswald, was apparently the first person Dylan wanted to see though, because his mouth spread in a wide grin. Dylan was the tallest kid in 5th grade, and clearly enjoying looming over his victims. Well, if it isn't Oswald the Ocelot, he said, his grin spreaded impossibly wider. That one never gets old, does it? Oswald walked past Dylan and was relieved when his tormented Chloe chose not to follow him. Hold on, let me just check quickly what I got over here. I'll read one more page and then that's in my stream. Wait, hold on. Thank you, Foxy. When Oswald and his 5th grade classmates were preschoolers, there was a cartoon on one of the little kid channels about a big punk ocelot named Oswald. As a result, Dylan and his friends had started calling him Oswald the Ocelot. I wouldn't mind that name. Not at all. On the first day of kindergarten, and he'd never stopped Dylan. Dylan was the kind of kid who'd pick on anything that made you different. If it hadn't been Oswald's name, it would have been the freckles on his cowlick. What the hell is a cowlick? The name calling had gotten much worse this year in US history. Then they'd learned the man who shot John F. Kennedy was named Lee Harvey Oswald. Oswald would rather be an ocelot than an assassin. Both. Since it was the last day of school, there was no attempt at doing any kind of real work. Mrs. Mitcham, sounds like a Pokemon. Oh no, I lost it. Mrs. Mitcham had announced the day before students were allowed to bring their electronics as long as they took responsibility for anything getting lost or broken. This announcement meant that no effort would be made towards any educational activities of any kind. Oswald didn't have any modern electronics. True, there was one laptop at home, but the whole family shared it and he wasn't allowed to bring it to school. He had a phone, but it was the saddest, most out-of-date model imagine, and he didn't want to take it out of his pocket because he knew any kid saw it would make fun of how pathetic it was. So while other kids played games, on their tablets or handheld consoles. Oswald sat. I was just sitting became intolerable. He took out a notebook and pencil and started to draw. He wasn't the best artist in the world, but he could draw well enough that his images were identifiable by I can't read. And there was a certain cutting equality about his drawings that he liked. The best thing about drawing, though, was that he could get lost in it. It was like he fell asleep into his paper and became part of the scene. That's not just how it happens. He actually got into the scene. Alright, I've kind of skipped ahead by accident. The best thing about drawing it, he could, get lost in it, became part of the scene. He was creating, it was welcome escape. He didn't know why, but lately he's been drawing mechanical animals, bears, bunnies, and birds. They were, well, no. He imagined them being human-sized and moving with the jerkiness of robots in an old science figure movie. They were funny on the outside, and the fur covered the hard metal skeleton filled with gears and circuits. Sometimes he drew the animals, exposed metal skeletons, or sketched them with the fur peeled back to show some of the mechanical workings underneath. It was a creepy effect, like seeing a person's skull peeking out beneath their skin. Oswald was so immersed in his drawing that he was startled when Mrs. Beauchamp turned to the lights to show a movie. Movies always seem like a teacher's final act of desperation on the day before break. A way to keep the kids quiet and relaxing. Don't know what that means. Still for an hour and a half before setting them loose for the summer. The movie Miss Beauchamp chose was, in Oswald's opinion, too babyish for a room full of 5th graders. It was about a farm with talking animals, and he had watched it before, but he'd never watch it again because really, what else did he have to do? He stood around tossing the ball back and forth and talking about... I lost it. We're just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. I will see you next episode of Into the Pit. We also have the silver eyes, the twisted ones, and the fourth closet. And we also have Fazbear's Frights Fetch. So I'll see you later. After this book, tell me what one we should... Oh, it's upside. Tell me what one we should read in the comments of this live stream. Thank you for watching.